Hello. So this wasn't the actual. This isn't what this stream was gonna be. The next one, but I was planning to do the pizza party mod for Pizza Tower, and Pizza Tower got an update yesterday. So fuck me. I lost the mod installation. I did it like 2 or 3 months ago. Just great. I should try again, but I'm not sure if it's gonna work. I'll see for next time. But if not, I guess I could play as the noise for a couple of levels. Then yeah, I'll leave it. I'm not gonna do the whole game mode. So we don't have gameplay here. Shit, I should change that. Give me a sec. This is just a video I wanted to watch before I played the mod, but I didn't. So I kept it for this. In case I ever get monetization, I will demonetize this. And if I didn't, please remind me. There's no way I'm gonna remember, honestly. I'm talking about YouTube monetization, obviously. Almost there. Let me check something. Oh, by the way, sorry if I didn't say it, but sorry for all the quick loading. I did not realize it would bother people until someone I know, a friend of mine, pointed out. It's like all you were doing was a quick load like every 5 seconds. Yeah, I should have just done medium or like go as far as I could on hard without quick saving, without quick loading, and then do it at least. If I could make it, well, I guess I could lower the difficulty through the console. Alright, yes, that's good. Okay, actually. Well, yes, but actually, no. Ah, fuck. Store page. Okay. What was I thinking? I put the store page for Half-Life 1 and not the mod. Almost there. Sorry, I should not do that. Oh, somebody's watching. Hi. I just like to keep a record of I just like to keep a record of everything, of every game I played on streams. I have about okay. I don't know how many there are. I don't know how to wait to check lines, except opening with Notepad++, but. Uh, Almost there. I should have done this before. Sorry. I mean, if you're on YouTube, you can totally just skip a few seconds ahead. I guess that's good. All right. Oh, there was one more thing I wanted to show. I don't remember. I hope you can hear it fine. Oh, if you wrote anything in the chat, I missed it, by the way. Let me just get to the Twitch chat. Let's get started.
You ever wished Valve had made more expansions for Half-Life? Something like
I paused? Sorry. I just mean to see if it's not enough for you.
Opposing Force or Blue Shift? Or maybe you wanted more mods like Echoes?
Did they make M-Mod for Blue Shift? Because that looks pretty different.
Well, do I have a piece of advice for you? Go play Delta Particles. Yeah, just go do it. You'll love it, okay? Bye. Oh, why, you ask? Well...
Now, what do I spell the entire fucking thing here?
Delta Particles, previously known as Half-Life Delta, is a mod made by XF Alien along with some
medium pleb. I'm kidding. Yeah, you know, just a quick line.
Support from a few other modders. It was released on New Year's Eve 2023.
I'm sorry, was that a scoff?
Support from a few other modders. It was
What?
released on New Year's Eve 2023, and today I want to tell you why this just might be considered as a proper expansion for Half-Life 1.
It was
There
just
were
a little
mods
too
out
long.
there that might look better than this or play better than this, but once in a blue moon, there comes a mod that simply has spirit and scope. Spirit of what made the original game amazing, and scope to push the boundaries to stand out from the rest. The mod tells the story of Nick Farrell, an employee at the Delta Base, a research facility competing against Black Mesa in the realm of teleportation, arms manufacturing, and so on. The game starts off as Nick gets off the tram and proceeds to start his day.
Never thought that
Throughout
made
our
much
walk, we
sense.
get to explore Delta Base in detail. Taking a page from Half-Life 1's book, this is a parallel sequence of events that Gordon Freeman goes through as well. But here, the lab is not your usual square boxy rooms with little or sparse details. This lab feels alive. With many different people, they are going about their routine and their jobs and duties. While Black Mesa felt retro-futuristic, Delta feels
Because it was his duty!
industrial, rough, and irregular. This whole sequence is what I'd like to call the ideal Half-Life beginning. Build the world, build the tension, provide pretext to what's about to happen. And the best part is, all of it is shown through the world itself rather than dialogues from the characters that live in it. With the anti-radiation suit equipped, we head into the test room where they have an alien sample lined up in the machine. We get to meet Dr. Diana Hayes, the lead scientist on this experiment.
Nerd.
Dr. Hayes, I think, is a great character in the mod overall. We get to see her and talk to her many times throughout, and it feels like the mod does what Blue Shift did with Dr. Rosenberg.
Yep.
While Rosenberg felt more basic and straightforward, Dr. Hayes feels more dynamic, both in her dialogue and her actions in the story. Now, of course, I would point
It was totally waiting for her to betray us because of that robot and sending me to die. So that was never explained then. It's like, yeah, just leave here and meet the military. I'll go with the other guys for some reason. Obviously to secure her research, but why didn't we just go with her? I mean, we clearly had the suit. We would have been more helpful than the scientists and the cops. The security guard.
out that the voice actor behind her is clearly not a native English speaker like myself and therefore has a very thick accent. I personally did not mind this, and I think the voice actor did a pretty good job.
everybody's here, we can begin. Until now, our teleportation technology had two major drawbacks. Firstly, we could only teleport small materials, and secondly, only one person could be sent to the border road at a time.
There's a point in the experiment where we are on the control panel and are somewhat controlling the experiment based on Diana's instructions.
Sorry,
This right here
remind me
is
of
something I wish the original Half-Life did too. Rather than being the switch flipper and the cart pusher, I wish Half-Life did this too, where
but
we would have a
wasn't
bigger
very well
part in the
explained.
experiment. But to contradict my own point, we're also flipping switches here too, but you get the idea.
Slight
There's a
improvement.
cool little scene here where the experiment goes wrong right as Black Mesa's resonance cascade is happening, and we even see Gordon run away from the anti-mass spectrometer.
That was cute.
This out-of-body experience we have was a really nice touch in the game. Knocked out, we finally come to our senses a while later. Most of the people are either dead or missing, and Diana's nowhere to be seen. Traveling through the vents, we get to meet another scientist
You didn't charge your suit? Why didn't you?
and a security guard who uses eight. Most of the people are
Yup.
either dead or missing, and Diana's nowhere to be seen. Traveling through the vents, we get to meet another scientist and a security guard who uses HECU soldier lines.
Yep. From opposing force, not the HCU themselves from the original. Paul?
It's good
Oh.
to see you, sir.
To drive.
We need to keep moving.
It's very charming, I guess. Once again, I love the way this mod tries to do cinematic set pieces like these and actually succeeds at them. It genuinely feels good to see this on the Gold Source engine. In Half-Life 1, we did have sequenced events like these too, but they were again simpler. Then we find our first weapon. Any Adrian Shepard fan would recognize it, a wrench. We also see a new enemy type, a charging zombie. He runs like a gnome, but looks like a zombie. It isn't much of a threat, but it is kinda scary to see him charging at you.
Yeah, agreed.
Delta's visuals are
I probably said it, but I definitely would have uninstalled as a kid.
absolutely brilliant if we remember what engine it's running on. The mod also uses detail textures, which tends to make the textures look much more sharper. Another thing to note is that
Much more
it's also
sharper?
using Spirit of Half-Life. Basically, Spirit adds and improves upon the Gold Source engine and might be the reason why the mod looks so detailed and quote-unquote modern. There's also other options as well, like Trinity, Zash 3D, which is basically a separate engine, and Sprinity, that fuses together both Spirit and Trinity. These are all
Definitely didn't
great
feel like
options
a
if you want to
source,
make a
though.
mod for Half-Life 1 with some fancy features. Going down a ladder, Nick falls off and knocks himself out again. We're then Going down a ladder, Nick falls off and knocks himself out again.
Oh, okay.
We're then rescued by a security guard and a scientist.
I didn't know it
Waking
was
up in
broken.
an infirmary, we get back up and get strapped. Security guard and a scientist. A mod for Half-Life
I'm
1
just looking at
with
his
some
health.
fancy features. Going down a ladder, Nick falls off and knocks himself out again. We're then rescued by a security guard and a scientist. Waking up in an infirmary, we get back up and get strapped. Let's talk about the weapons in Delta. The first firearm we get is the Glock from Half-Life. It sounds punchy and has a nice custom animation to it.
I'll show the sounds after the visual.
It also has a burst fire mode. It's the go-to weapon for saving ammo and taking out enemies at a distance. Then there's the classic SPAS 12 shotgun. It has a
Fun.
normal attack with the pump, but an alternative attack that's semi-automatic but less accurate. It sounds absolutely badass and is super fun to use. Then there's this submachine gun that I don't really know what make or model it is.
Yeah,
It
same.
heavily reminded me of Halo because of its futuristic look. Later on, we find a revolver with a scope. It's a heavy-duty, accurate firearm that can deal a lot of damage, but is slow to use.
Aquid.
It's a heavy-duty, accurate firearm that can
Accurate.
deal a
Oh.
lot of damage, but is slow to use. The Desert Eagle is similar, but it's more faster, but it doesn't have
More
the range.
fast. It's a
The
side grade.
M4 is a high-powered assault rifle with a grenade launcher that just might be the best weapon in the game. Then there's a Barrett sniper rifle that absolutely annihilates the shit out of the enemies. And finally, the light gun. I love how, like Doom
What is the
3's
official
BFG,
name?
you get to see it mentioned first before you actually get
Yeah.
to use it later on. The light gun is basically the BFG of this mod that deals the highest damage.
It's
There's
a
also explosive options too.
it's a gas gun that comes charged every time.
like the C4, which is a replacement for the satchel charge from Half-Life, the grenades, and the rocket launcher.
Sound showcase. Is he gonna mention that you gotta cock all the weapons if they're empty? The controller! Dude!
All of these weapons sound really good and are extremely fun to use. Each weapon's sound effects has this punchy and impactful feeling that shows how devastating it is to use. Along with that, their animations, even though not as fancy as one would like, have a really nice charm and personality to them. It's like a homemade pizza. It is pizza, but you made it at home, if that makes sense. It's like a
Can you
homemade
put
pizza.
chips on it?
It is pizza,
Okay.
but you made it at home, if that makes any sense. So, stepping out of the infirmary, we don't really have a goal but to get to the surface. Now, Delta does something great with its world building. It showcases how the lab is crumbling because of the failed experiment and the invading aliens. Apart from the appearance, the lab itself rumbles every so often,
And you hear those repeated screams with a shot.
and the debris falls from the roof, and coupled with the dead bodies, the blocked hallways, the failing machines,
He doesn't mention it, but
it
definitely
all
been
adds
a
up
couple
to
more of
make
those.
this atmosphere of being lost within this giant facility, a feeling of being alone and scared of whatever lurks behind every corner.
Second half definitely
Delta
lost
has a
those
great way of
details, though.
showing diverse and different variety of areas throughout its campaign. Each major section of the lab has subtle differences in their geometry, their textures, and how they are laid out. This makes it so that the lab doesn't feel repetitive or boring to go through in any of the levels. Every few hallways
until I
of
went to
combat in
Sun.
the lab are broken up by vent crawling that leads to a completely new part of the lab. Another thing that the mod does really good is what I like to call points of divergence. After playing through a bit of an area, you'll come across a point where the paths diverge. One path that is locked and another path that has
There are those
items
two
like a
keycards I
key or a
didn't-
card or a battery pack or maybe a button press that is required to open the locked path. The design feels formulaic in the sense that the path to get to the items isn't always that long or time consuming. It usually has you engulfed in combat for a short while, then you circle back to the locked area to unlock it. This simple formula is used throughout the mod, and at no point does it feel repetitive or boring in any sense. So, right now, story-wise, Nick has to get out of the Delta lab, but given the state of things, it's not that easy since most of the exits are
shit.
blocked off or sealed. Delta's story is very much shown in the same vein as Blue Shift's. Even though people think of it as the lesser of the two expansions, I still think Blue Shift did something that neither Half-Life or Opposing Force had, and that was having actual characters be an important part of the story, like
Okay, yeah. Be right back.
Rosenberg. Usually, Half-Life or OP4 had characters in them that spat out one-liners and then either ran away or die. Delta's formula is that what made Blue Shift great. Every 30 or 40 minutes of combat like Half-Life and OP4, you get to take a little breather where you can catch up with Diana like Rosenberg and Blue Shift. After some head blasting, some vent crawling and lab navigating, we end up in Diana's office. Looks like she left in a hurry cause she forgot her hooch. Wouldn't be too surprised to see Diana. Looks like she left
Did
in a
not pay
hurry
attention to
cause
that.
she forgot her hooch. Wouldn't be too surprised to see Diana in a AA meeting if you know what I mean. Then we finally meet up with her. She explains why the experiment went wrong. It's because Black Mesa's experiment interfered with theirs, and also, two people are stuck in an alien world. Yeah, don't forget about these two from the beginning. Before it all went wrong, they actually stepped into the portal and never came back. This will be important to remember for the end. Right now, Diana sent out a distress signal and is
Kinda.
getting some equipment to the surface. She advises us to search the lab for any survivors and bring them with us to the surface. Oh, and yeah, that is a robot standing behind her. It's one of Delta Labs' infantry robots that's protecting
I wonder if
Diana.
he's gonna address
Another
the
thing that
little
this mod
hints.
does is that when you come across a locked door, sometimes you don't need a keycard or item, but rather a security officer or a scientist or an electrician to open it. This again goes back
Electrician,
to my
you
point
know.
about there being diverging paths where you have to travel a little to the side before the main path can be unlocked. Now I know I usually call this kind of gameplay design padding or time wasting, but here it doesn't feel like that.
But
Here
you
it feels
do-
like you're accomplishing something.
You are getting to the thing and then told, oh, get the security guard.
Doing something valuable. So we find Security Man who can unlock the door we saw earlier, so we
Or
lead him to
criminal.
it. Rather than going back the way we came, the Security Man blows up a steel reinforced door with C4. What a madman, Lamau!
Lamau!
Then we get on a tram, and since Security Man doesn't have the AI to board trams, we leave him behind. He waves
Yep.
us goodbye and we go on ahead without him. Even
Okay,
alone,
but you do see him.
he
Yeah.
fights on, kicking ass. Godspeed, you magnificent bastard.
Never forget. I wonder who the face.
Getting off the tram for a brief moment, we end up on the surface.
If the face is listed from any NPC.
And I really liked the skybox that this mod has throughout the campaign. They range from cloudy to dark cloudy to stormy. Then we come across a green
Wait, you're not
tentacle
gonna look at
alien,
it?
along with an alien controller too. And I'm not gonna lie, alien
There's way too
controllers
fucking many.
aren't well liked by most people. In
Yep.
fact, I might say they're one of the worst enemies in the original Half-Life. And this
They weren't-
mod, well,
The projectiles were not that hard to dodge for me. The sniper does kill them in one hit, but there weren't that many bullets.
has a lot of alien
And that-
controllers in it.
Like that is a gun I used a lot in the mod, and I like to say that.
Especially in the last half of the campaign. I don't necessarily think it ruins the experience, but it sure does sour the taste in my mouth when I have to deal with their bullshit sometimes. Anyway, to defeat the green tentacle, we first open the gate, move the radioactive waste train under the
Yeah.
pipes, and open the valve to dissolve the alien snake with some good old green goo. Solving this
Lamau.
took me longer than I'd like to admit, but honestly, it wasn't a really difficult puzzle.
No,
a
I
little
can't-
bit of tinkering
say it took
solved
that
the
long.
issue. We make our way to what appears to be a train depot. We meet Diana again, and she finally got her shit up to the surface, but now she wants us to fetch her a tram so she can move the equipment. After a bit of kerfuffle with the local train people, we get one of the trams ready for Diana. Now you'd think the mod would pull a on a rail here, but it actually doesn't. We first get attacked by a bunch of controllers and Vortigons. This was fairly simple but somewhat fun. Then Diana instructs us to go meet the soldiers who should have been here by now thanks to her distress signal. Going through this level and this chapter as a whole,
Her.
I felt like as if I'm
We sent it. Dude, you forgot about this plot point too. I sure did.
playing a commercial game from the early 2000s. Like, I don't mean this in a bad way, but what I'm trying to say is that it felt nostalgic, or rather familiar. These places, this whole scenario, it felt like a game that wanted
Damn,
to be
that's
Half-Life
vaporized.
but just couldn't hit the mark. So next we find an electric box that needs to be shut down for us to proceed further, but again we need to find an electrician
Oh,
to
okay.
do
Technician, never mind.
that. Again, path divergence like I mentioned before,
Well, there's
but the
3 or
mod
2
finds
technicians
ways
again.
to spice things up by letting the player go through
Oh no, there were 3. Or I think. Or not. I'm not
new
sure.
and interesting little sections and then putting them into deadly encounters with the aliens. Most of this chapter consists of us going through this outside area while occasionally stepping inside for resources or to get a newer part of this outside area. Then comes an underground area which I actually kinda liked, even though I don't usually like these areas in other games. It even had ghost zombies in it. These
So
are
this is what I
basically the
meant.
charge-
Like, these were sent to get me. So never mind. I predicted that, and it's like, nope, that didn't actually happen. I guess.
zombies, but they have this invisibility vest on, so they're transparent and hard to see. The atmosphere, along
so
with
it's
the
not
rustic
hard
color
difficulty
palette of the
related.
textures, all looked great and very nice. A big difference I need to mention between this and the original Half-Life is that Delta has a more colder temperature visually, meaning most things seem cold, dark, or desaturated. Half-Life, on the other
You didn't
hand, has a
mention you
much
have night
more
vision.
saturated and vibrant look to it. This desaturated dark look of Delta gives it almost a more realistic tone mapping, which becomes part of its unique personality. In the tunnels, we turn off the power so the next area can be opened. This dark
really so-
area was actually kind of scary.
How did I get across that part? Because I got past it in a way that I felt wasn't intended. He used the crates. I don't think I used the crates.
With the transparent ghost zombies. Almost felt like
Dude,
I was
you have
playing
night
Doom
vision.
3.
Dude, you have night vision! You live in America! Yeah, you're definitely not gonna get that, sorry. That's from Black Yoshi's Telltale's The Walking Dead episode 3.
Really kind of scary with the turn off the power so the next area can be opened. This dark area was actually kind of scary with the transparent ghost zombies.
Agreed, but
Almost felt like I was,
it was
playing
cool.
Doom 3.
But
Coming out
I
of
have the night
tunnels,
vision.
I was surprised by the rain. This
Same.
atmosphere is
And the night
just...
vision. I'm sorry, the skybox.
Oh, and then we get to meet the soldiers that Diana told
Shame I knew it was gonna rain because of your fault, radiation hazard. In the first minute, I did get it.
us about.
Before he started the model, yeah.
Now you see, these aren't the HECU soldiers. They're
Yup.
busy at Black Mesa right now. This is a private mercenary group that's
Mercedes
here to
Benz
take
car,
advantage
what?
of the situation and steal Delta Labs' shit. Most likely the teleportation
Oh.
tech. Next we see something more alarming. Diana's tram. With her escorting security detail dead and Diana nowhere to
Oh, the
be seen.
teleporter's still there.
Maybe they got attacked by the mercs, or maybe
Oh,
she
yeah.
got kidnapped. But now it's our
Okay.
job to look for her
Mm.
and save her.
Not exactly kidnapped, we saw her ahead. The soldiers almost got to her, but they were attacked by the guard, I guess.
Then we get to meet an old friend. Security man.
Not the same
He's
one.
alive.
I guess.
Then
like-
he and I tagged along to chew ass and kick some bubblegum. Hold up. I said that wrong, didn't I? Then we see the despicable
I was-
mercenaries
I was gonna reference it earlier, but I didn't. I didn't, right?
stealing shit. This Gargantua part kind
Oh,
of
they did steal
confused
it,
me.
okay.
Let me explain. Up till this point, and even till the end from here, the mod takes pages out of Half-Life's book. Meaning it takes some inspiration from the sequences and sections from Half-Life and remakes them in the mod. And you can easily recognize them when you're playing the mod. Now, it's not a straight up ripoff, but rather something like you look at this and go,
Nostalgic.
oh, this is just like that one part in Half-Life
Yep.
where there's also a Gargantua, and the soldiers are shooting it. It is understood we can't kill him normally, so I guess we have to turn on the power here
Sure.
to zap the big alien like Half-Life 1. But
Well, no.
the inspiration only
Okay, yeah, but you do get the RPG, which made me think, okay, we gotta shoot him with the RPG.
ends here at the starting part with the Gargantua and the soldiers shooting him. Basically, all this long explanation is basically my way of saying
Run out
my
of ammo?
dumbass spent running around this place trying to find the zappers that would kill the Gargantua. Turns out, I just needed to shoot him multiple times with the rocket launcher.
Well, yeah.
After killing Big G, we turn off the power and open the gate where we find Diana just sitting alone with this injured security dude.
Which
Once
we
again,
just leave.
Diana is used as a story propellant and tells us to
Yep.
get to the helipad to call out another distress signal, since only that radio will work now. She, on the
Okay.
other hand, will try to get to the old teleporter to save those two dudes from the intro. This mod does a great job at pacing itself. It never
That
stays
also put
too
a
much in
thing.
one
It's
place.
a lot like Blue Shift.
It never reuses the same trope again and again, and even if it does, like
Security
the divergent
officer can
paths,
open this door.
it does it in a
Okay.
way that's always refreshing, and it's never the same thing
Is
twice
that
in a
another
row.
thing that I never got to?
Now, here's this cool little section where
Oh,
you
yeah, that
have
was
to
cool.
lower the generator's power level so it doesn't zap you to death. This is another part where I just stopped and took in the ambience of the location. I love it when mods in Gold Source try to implement some sort of atmosphere and in this case succeed. Now we're in the office complex. It's like the original office complex chapter, but
little darker.
much more fancy looking and larger. It provides for some real enjoyable close quarters combat with the aliens and the mercenaries. Then we come face to face with another new enemy combat with the aliens
I
and
am
the
the new
mercenaries.
enemy.
Then we come
Silver.
face to face with another new enemy type. Evil robots
he
with
clearly read the
guns.
visor thingy.
Both the mercenaries and the robots work like the HECU soldiers do. There's not much of an AI change for these enemies. There's
This is
also a
very
tank
tanky.
here, but I didn't have time for that. This next gunfight was really awesome. There's also a tank here, but I didn't have time for that. This next gunfight was really
Oh, wait,
awesome.
sure, tank.
There's aliens. Also a tank here, but I didn't have time for that. This next
All 30
gunfight was
actually,
really
yeah.
awesome. There's
probably
aliens and
would've died.
mercs. It's like a triple threat match, and then there's a Humvee with the machine gunner on top, and then you blow it up. Like,
was
man,
cool.
it makes you feel
Hey,
like
Clam.
a proper badass. The awesome thing about the later encounters is that they really do test your skill and aim. While it might be a bit too much for some players, if you
Yeah.
enjoy a challenge, then this will definitely give you
I
one.
wish I knew what
We
difficulty
finally
to
reached
pick.
the helipad where we find a new
Like from
toy
the
to play
beginning, you
with.
know?
A goddamn Barrett sniper rifle. Shooting the shit out of
I
enemies
think
and
this
seeing
should
their
have been a
head
little longer.
literally explode is one hell of an experience.
then
Finding
see
our
the
way
bolt
to the
and hearing
radio
that.
room, we send out the second distress signal that Diana asked us to send. Outside, there's a war zone, and it really hit the point about how chaotic things have become at Delta Labs. Our next goal is to get to Diana at the old teleporter lab, but that's not gonna be an easy task since she's pretty far away from us. Then we go through a different part of Delta Base, all the while the mod throws balls to the walls, crazy combat encounters at us. Aliens, mercenaries, more
Polygons.
aliens, more mercenaries.
The polygons are a little crazy on hard mode when they
Combat
keep appearing
encounters
like
at
that.
us. Aliens, mercenaries, more mercenaries, and honestly, it's just so good. All thanks to how heavy and punchy the guns feel and how they are animated. Then we end up in a Zen-infested train tracks area. I love this sort of implication that time has passed to a point that Zen flora has gotten the chance to start growing on Earth. We almost face two alien grunts, but they get zapped to death. That, my friends, is the light.
I read a comment yesterday or a few days ago about this video. I watched a minute and a half tops. If you hurry up, somebody said that you can see the guy with the gun being pulled away by a Volsquid through a portal.
Face two alien grunts, but they get zapped to death. That, my friends, is the light gun. These two
Oh,
alien grunts
They did
has
show
gotten
that
the
it
chance to
penetrated.
start growing on Earth. We almost face two alien grunts, but they get zapped to death. That, my friends, is the light gun's work. But whoever shot it literally exploded or something. Then we end up in a completely flooded part of Delta Base. Here we get to fight against thick latex-wearing assassin
Oh yeah, they
GFs.
only showed up once.
They do be a bitch to fight against since they move a lot,
They do
but I
be.
had just a solution for it. My trusty grenade launcher, of course.
Yeah.
Passing over the Assassin GF's
Assassin
chunklets,
GFs.
we head through the waste disposal area to get to the underground, where we find Diana surrounded by aliens who are very thirsty for Diana. Now at the end of this chapter, there is a keypad.
Okay.
This is Diana. Only Diana can open that keypad. But you see, the problem is that there are like 4 dozen aliens between Diana and the keyboard. Do you understand this deadly predicament that I find Diana and myself in? Getting in some shenanigans with the aliens, such as blowing them to bits, we finally cleared a path for our Diana to open the gate.
Or
We
the
find ourselves in a new part of the lab where Diana tries to get into the security room to open a door, but
succeeds.
instead gets
Fine.
trapped inside and we get separated from her. Well, time to find her again. Now the moon has
Yeah.
shrouded the lab in darkness as we soldier on to save ourselves and Diana. And those 2 dudes from the intro too.
Yep.
The nighttime level
Those.
goes very normal. It looks nice.
How?
And there's from the
How
intro
do you
too.
get hit like
The
that?
nighttime level goes very normal. It looks nice. And
What
there's
the
usual
fuck?
combat with the aliens. But level goes very normal. It looks nice.
Oh, that was
and there's
embarrassing.
usual combat with the aliens. But once I
Studio
opened
mode.
one of the locked gates, this
Sorry, what's this studio mode on OBS?
thing came out of nowhere. So I shot at it. I shot at
Lamau.
its testicle multiple times, mostly with sniper rounds till it died.
RPG, no!
Not
you
gonna
said
lie,
RPG.
this genuinely jump scared me because I was not expecting a goddamn Gonarch to come at me like this.
Did I get scared of that? I can look it up. I think I heard something on the other side, so I knew it was another Gornarch. I think, right? Just before that. 5 views. Oh, thank you. Man, I gotta say, I'm disappointed at Cult of the Lamb's permadeath playthrough. Like, fuck. Really did think that we'd get a few more views. I know what they say, like, don't do it for the views. And I'm not. Permadeath is fun as fuck, just... Damn, like, I wish I had something more to show for it. And I do. I beat it. I just wish it could become... I'm gonna sound like a total hack, but I wish it would be, like, profitable to do so. Did I say? I did think of making an Overkill's The Walking Dead permadeath, but I do want to get a better PC before I do that. But there's no way unless I get a job. I am thinking of doing it, but did I say there's a supermarket next door, and I wouldn't have to pay travel fees, which got pretty bad the last few months. But my foot, I don't think my foot is 100%. I am gonna get it checked in a couple of days, but I don't think I can handle 40-hour weeks of that. I don't think my foot can. I don't think mentally I can either, honestly. I only have myself to blame for it, but just diving headfirst into 40-hour work weeks is not the answer. Though it's what I deserve. It is completely what I deserve. Okay, so am I gonna find this? I think it was the previous stream. And she dies, Lamau! Hi, let me just check real quick if... Tram? Okay, we're getting that. There it is. So first aid. Oh, this is my webcam. Achieve energy up there. I already heard it. Let's go, Narsh. Sounds. Yeah, no wonder. Dude, no offense, but really?
Multiple
You review Half-Life mods for a living.
times, mostly with sniper rounds, till it. Once I opened one of the locked gates, this thing came out of nowhere. So I shot at it. I shot at its testicle multiple times, mostly with sniper rounds, till it died. Not gonna lie, this genuinely jump scared me because I was not expecting a goddamn Gonarch to come at me like this. Next we end up in
Did he get unlucky and not get the sounds, maybe?
what I like to call the arena, cause that's what the layout is like in this section. There's a whole lot of ammo and
I think I did take my time just now. I quit the video, right? Yeah. I think I took my time a bit, so I got to here.
Cause that's what the layout is like in this section. There's a whole lot of ammo and health.
They keep
but there
respawning,
will be
though.
a whole lot of enemies too. It starts off normal, but if you're quick to act and take down the enemies as soon as they spawn, this part should not be a problem. But this whole setting was something that I really liked. We're now this battle-tested scientist man under a dark and stormy rainy sky, kicking the shit out of anyone that crosses our path. I loved it. This part lasts a while before it's over, and there is a constant barrage of all sorts of enemies thrown at you. And by the end, you'll be battered and bruised, but you'll be out on top. After this fight, we meet up with Diana, who's also without her lab coat and has wounds on her arm, meaning she's been through some shit too. We fight our way to the old teleporter where Diana gears up and we step into the teleporter to save those poor fools who are trapped in Zen. But right as we're about to go, the mercenaries come in and start shooting at shit. This messes up the teleporter and we get separated again while teleporting.
Sorry, it looked like I ate a booger. No, it's just it was just my fingernail, but yes, I did. It does itch. It does itch constantly from the surface.
And so, welcome to Zen. Zen in this mod takes a page not from the original Half-Life, thankfully, but from Blue Shift's book. Most of you will agree that the Zen chapter in Blue Shift was in many ways more fun to play than the original Half-Life.
It was also a lot less ambitious.
That's the same style this mod wants to emulate. Now, here's the thing. Don't play this mod in one sitting, because as much fun as it is, by the time you'll reach Zen, you'll be wanting a quick resolution to the story, but
I definitely did not play in
yeah.
one sitting.
Zen is really fucking long in this mod, like
Yeah.
very long. The only reason why I'm not shitting on it right now is because it looks great and it plays
It does look definitely better. It's
okay.
got new
The only gripe I
assets.
had in these Zen levels were that the ammo to enemy ratio was way off. Repeatedly, I would find myself out of ammo for all of my equipment and I would be forced to use the pistol or sometimes even the crowbar. The encounters with the
I really
aliens
did not have
turn
this
up the
problem.
difficulty, so it's really a hard time playing this chapter on medium difficulty. I imagine the easy difficulty must be a breeze here, but I was playing on medium and shit was actually not medium, shit was hard as hell most of the time. I played this mod constantly
reload a
while
bunch of times
recording.
here.
I kept thinking, why did the mod fail so hard in Zen? But that's not the case at all. Looking back at the footage, I was just tired from playing this too much. I can't game for long periods of time, and that's why I was such in a bad mood when I started this chapter. All of that
Oh,
aside,
yeah,
Zen
I
looks
see.
great, and there are even some scenes that make you stop and
Oh, yeah,
take
that
a
sounds
proper
cool.
look at things because of how awesome it looks. The original Zen had a problem where it was very limited.
Did I tell you it reminded me of a Swing Co-op mod? Or no, not a Swing Co-op mod. I remember reading about a Half-Life 1 mod review. It was called Halloween or something. It did say something about a tornado you had to get into. And there was, you should put the God mode sheet so you won't die from the fall of the tornado, which took you to the next level. Just so you'd survive the fall.
in terms of texture.
I read about it. I don't
usage.
know how similar
Thankfully,
it is.
this Zen feels much more versatile, both in terms of textures and geometry. There's all sorts of caves, tunnels, and open areas to go through, cliff sides and floating islands, like you get the idea. Now, I'm not gonna show all of Zen areas since my gameplay footage is kinda bad, but you just need to keep in mind that there will be sparse ammo here. So after what I guess is almost an hour of very diverse Zen levels, we get to the research station that the Delta people
hour?
had set up.
Just an
Throughout
hour?
our
I guess it was
journey,
an hour and a
we
half.
saw dead researchers in anti-radiation suits. So those two dudes from the intro, definitely dead. Now we need to find where Diana is and get the hell out of
yeah.
here. Looking around the research station, we do find her in one of the rooms. Now, going back to the teleporter, Diana will have to initiate and operate
Like
the
Rosenberg.
control panels to make it work. This isn't a long section by any means, but Diana has
That's
to do
alright.
this at 3 different control panels while we keep getting attacked by aliens. This was another high adrenaline sort of section that I enjoyed. I was
Adrenaline?
hoping the mod would have... This was another high...
My throat. Okay. Don't drink. Don't drink infusions. Well, I guess a lot of people do. I drink infusions with cookies, and it's like, yep. I always regret it. I
adrenaline sort of
normally regret
section
it.
that I enjoyed getting attacked by aliens. This was another high adrenaline sort of section that I enjoyed. I was hoping the
Adrenaline.
mod would have had a final boss fight like Naelanth, but
Yeah.
unfortunately there was none. Instead of that, we only
I
had
guess
the
that's fine.
defending section with Diana.
It's not really that
Once
hard
the
though.
teleporter opens, we both get in and teleport away. This was a fit teleporter opens,
I didn't know
we
she
both
hugged
get
us.
in and teleport away. This was a fitting ending, a somber moment where our heroes meet an unknown fate.
The credits. Oh
But I
yeah.
had a gut feeling there would be a post-credit scene, and there was. We come out on the other side of the lab, and it looks overgrown.
I expected something, but not like
desolate,
this.
as if decades had passed by since we left. Slowly going through the place, we try to get out of it, only to see this. This is also a very fitting ending, but you know what I was imagining? That when we came out of the teleporter
Half-Life
20
2.
years later, or whatever,
Oh yeah, you
and
did see.
right
I
as the
did see the
gate
combine.
opens, we'd see a bunch of Combine soldiers approaching us to arrest us or something. I don't know.
Which is definitely doable because Psychos did it.
I think it would have been cool to see that and link this mod to Half-Life 2 like that, and maybe have a possibility of a sequel to the mod on the Source engine. I don't know, I'm just
Maybe it has been years, but we're stuck in sand.
talking out of my ass. But yeah, that was Delta Particles, a mod that I like to call an unofficial expansion for Half-Life, just like previous masterpieces like Half-Life Echoes or Hunt Down the Freeman. It plays like it's an officially sanctioned expansion that a game studio
I gotta hear that again.
just like previous masterpieces like Half-Life Echoes or Hunt Down the Freeman. It plays like it's an officially sanctioned expansion that a game studio like Gearbox
Hang on.
made, but it's just one madman assisted by a handful
Oh.
of people.
Okay.
Great job on the mod, XF. This was one hell of a memorable experience and a great way to start my new year. And that's pretty much it for Delta Particles. Definitely give it a check if you're interested. Link's gonna be in the description. And thanks for watching, and a big thanks to these benefactors for supporting the channel. Nicholas Go, give it a check. New year. This was one hell of a
Way to
memorable
start a new year.
experience and a great way to start my new year.
Okay, yeah,
And
but
that's pretty
yeah, I just don't think it's gonna be a good year.
much it for Delta Particles. Definitely give it
I don't wanna. I better not be a downer.
a check if you're interested. Link's gonna be in the description. And thanks for watching, and a big thanks to these benefactors for supporting the channel. Nicholas Go, Imperial Embers, Unusual, T-Boy301, Tombstone, Jack5282, Taiwanesium, Bubba, Quiltman, 501st
Bubba.
Clone Boy, Interloper CS, TTG, Robocop, Noel, Nobody Important, Franco Senlehi, Cheemsburger, Justin Imbergriff, Tedosaur, Otakan Nachos, Lambdre, Roadkill, Walter, Hobgobbies, NoClick, Geode, Fisher Grice, Hawkassault, Mistress Bubba. Thanks again, and see you in the next one.
The fuck? Fuck is this thing? Okay, so since I can't play Pizza Tower, or I gotta install the mod, I had something else in mind. I mean, I had something in mind after Pizza Tower, but I guess we'll probably just do it now. Huh? Wait, what? Wait, do I have to download it and then install it manually? Fuck. I hate doing that. Well, spoiler of what I'm doing. Fuck! I don't want to install the fucking thing. Episode 2 progress update. You know, maybe I'll just skip this. I'll wait until it's done. Alright, maybe. Yeah, maybe I will. I gotta watch that. Okay, so that's it. That's what the whole stream was about. Racing the Bar Salvation. I might go back to it someday. No promises though. So, Pizza Party, I'm gonna try to install and see if it works again. Or maybe it won't. I'll check. So Entropy Zero Uprising, I think I'm just gonna wait out on it. God, that's far away. Party or okay, I see. I do want to play something dumb. You know, I still have Ponyvania. I still haven't finished that. It just got pretty hard. Yeah. I'm not. The game is really good. It's just so fucking hard, even on easy. And I have to. So I enjoy like an hour and a half of. Okay, more like 30, 40 hours of cave dwelling or whatever. Do I still die? And then get to a boss and play the fucking boss for 2 hours until I get it good enough, and then dies. And then I keep going on, and the cycle keeps going and going and going. I'm done. I think I'm just done. I'm good. Great game. But I think I reached my limit on that. And yet I can beat Colt and permadeath. I guess it wasn't normal, but 20 video was, yeah, too much. Great. Like I said, great, but definitely not beginner friendly. Hell no. I would not suggest that game to anyone for the sake of its difficulty. Unless I know somebody real hardcore. Paul Faris. Somebody gifted it to me and I just didn't feel it. It was good, I just... Here it is. Last played May. Fuck. It's good. It's definitely good. I don't know. Because I have the same issue as Ponyvania. Like, play this 5 times, then beat it, and keep going. And yeah, I love permadeath or roguelites. It's odd. I'm odd. Dude, I think I left Balfaris in favor of Cult of the Lamb. Didn't I? I think I did. I think I was just too excited. Yeah, look. On my phone. It's like Ponyvania, Balfaris, Cult of the Lamb, Ransack, Raccoon. That's the game I was gonna play next. But I only played 7 minutes. I think you gotta beat it in one sitting. It's probably like half an hour long tops. But that's for next time. Ponyvania, I think I'm just gonna watch on YouTube, dude. Nah, I'm not. I think I should just watch on YouTube. If I don't enjoy it, then I shouldn't play it anymore. Like System Shock, I just didn't know how to continue. Walkthroughs weren't out, and I'm gonna have to learn the game again. It's like that one kind of has permadeath, or no, it's kind of like a speedrun mode. Well, no, it's not permadeath, but I guess if you die, you'll be sent back to the beta chamber or whatever it's called, and then you have 10-hour stops to beat the game in a certain difficulty. Did I miss the chat at all? Sorry. So I'll see you next time. I'm honestly kind of. I'm honestly kind of lost as to what I'm gonna play next. I think Ransack Raccoon, Ponyvania I might just watch on YouTube. The rest. Well, Faris, I don't know. Sorry, man, but yeah. Pizza Party, I'm gonna try to get installed. Somebody's playing World of Walking Dead. Shit, I gotta keep streaming. I definitely kept playing it, but I gotta remember to stream it. 240 hours. I had like 198 last time I checked. What the fuck? Oh no, I'm thinking of Payday 3. Yeah, I just reached 200 hours on. I still don't think that's a bad game. It's just it has little content, but what is there? I think is pretty good. Okay, derailed the stream enough. Thank you for watching. If you did, I don't know if you did. I did see somebody earlier. Thank you. I'll see you next time, whenever that is. Probably Saturday, for whatever it is. I could install the Pizza Party mod, but maybe it won't work with a new update. Maybe I'll just ignore it. Maybe that's another thing I'll just keep for the future. Or I could just play as a noise. Well,